Hello, hello. Good morning and welcome to Tuesday, the 20th of January. All right, I've got one cake in the oven and I'm making sticky date pudding. So I've had to leave that to the side and go, oh my God, it's 8:30, I'm late. So good morning. I think that's the first time in a long time. It just gives me anxiety if I'm not here at the right time. Okay, let's have a look. All right, so we do have the moon in Aquarius. And so there's a very big day today, all right? So we currently have the sun at 29 degrees. Where is my chart? There it is. All right, so we currently have the sun at 29 degrees and 48 seconds. So it does move into Aquarius at 12:45 p.m. and you will more than likely feel the change. All right, so traditionally Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, but in modern rulerships it is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is currently retrograde in Taurus. So the changes that we're feeling very much, or the emotions that we may be feeling, actually it's the sun moving into Aquarius, I'm sorry, the focus that we're going to be looking at is going to be, like, everything's still in Capricorn. We're still in this, oh my God, I need to lay some solid foundations for my future. And so when that sun moves into that Aquarian, we're going to be like, oh, okay, I can see the things looking different. All right, so there was that sun into Aquarius. That's the first big change today. And then at 3:04 p.m. we have Venus conjunct Pluto. Now, I was talking about this yesterday, and I've been thinking about it a fair bit because, like I was saying, Venus is leading the charge right now. She's at 2:58. She's almost at 3 degrees, but Pluto is at 3:18. So it's like, what can you offer Pluto so that you can move? Like there's that the myth of it's Charon crossing the river Styx to get into the underworld. And I just feel like Venus here in her most hippy dippy garb, or that no F's given factor. Like, she's like, I'm here to look after the community. I'm here to do the things that I need to do so that my future is bright and prosperous. So what is it that you can give that you may have once loved as an offering to Pluto? All right, I'll just click the button again. I'm sure there's someone here. Good morning, Susan. Hello. Good morning, Christy, and good morning, Helen. Yeah, I know. She messaged me and said don't make cake, but I didn't get the message. So now we have our orange and almond cake and a sticky date pudding coming. So, all right, now I'll go back to the date. All right, so in the words I wrote, the more you hide your feelings, the more they show. The more that you deny your feelings, the more they grow. Now, that was a quote from an unknown source, but I'm letting you know it's not mine, but it's so true. The more you try to squash things down, you know what, Scorpio, Pluto, eighth house, the more you try to hide things in the cupboard, the louder that shit will rattle. All right, so here you are right now with Venus approaching Pluto, and she like, the analogy I feel is, I once loved this, but it held me back. Or, I once loved this, but now I must let it go. All right. So there is this, the song Changes by Black Sabbath comes to mind. It speaks of the pain of letting go. However, it also acknowledges that there was once much love shared in years gone by. This is where we stand on the verge of something different. However, grieving for what we are about to lose or about to let go of, is it just a new era where we must, stand up, stand tall, be bright, shine as freaking brightly as you can, whilst also still acknowledging that there is a pain there. Change and pain, it's inevitable. You can't not experience pain. All right. So the fact that we fear change and pain so much, I mean, it's that discomfort, isn't it, really? And so now, like I was saying at the beginning, the sun moving into Aquarius at 12 o'clock, 12:45, it then becomes ruled by Uranus retrograde in Taurus. All right, we are becoming aware of the discomfort that we have within. when it comes to our senses, all right? So, I mean, it could also bring nervousness, all right? It could bring restlessness, or, in medical astrology, like I said, it's the nervous systems, it's the shins, it's the messages around the body. So just be aware that, there is that heightened anxiety, but it's also because Pluto is right there. All right. When I read out the words for yesterday, I didn't write it in my book like I usually do at the time that things hit. But we had everything, like, the moon hit Pluto. I think it might have been this morning sometime. But, like, I don't know, it's just a massive, I wish I could show you, like, there's only, like, one aspect and all the planets are involved. All right. So it looks like right now, good morning, Kathy. Congratulations again on your freedom. Yeah, here we go, Aquarius. The future looks bright. Because there was a change in your finances. You're a Uranus in Taurus. Yeah. Okay, I've completely forgotten and I'm going to come back and just go. All right, let's have a look at the moon today. All right, so after 4 p.m., so the moon's not doing anything until 4 p.m. when it then gets into an inconjunct, adjustment required, to Jupiter in Cancer. All right, and then after 9 p.m., the moon starts a sextile to Chiron. I'm just looking at this as that Jupiter retrograde in Cancer is potentially the awareness that we have of the family patterns or the ancestral stuff, family of origin, early childhood conditionings. It could be your family now, where you've got an awareness that things have got to change, all right? In order for us to move forward in a smoother way, we need to alter the patterns that we have now, all right? So that's that between 4 and 9 is that awareness, that Jupiter, moon. And then after 9, like I said, there's that sextile forming to Chiron, where if we can understand, so yeah, between 4 and 9, Jupiter, awareness of our patterns of behavior. After 9, sextile to Chiron in Aries, we are able to start healing ourselves as individuals, thus opening up all of that freedom factor, transformation, new potentiality. All right, so there is that. Let's have another look. Oh, look, hello. Hi, Annie Pat, how are you? Good morning, Karen, nice to see you. All right, so now the sun is also sextile to Neptune at 9 a.m. So there we go, in 20 minutes. That sun still in Capricorn, sextile to Neptune in that last degree of Pisces. It moves in like a week. Today's the 20th, it moves on the 27th. So Neptune is at 2950. All right, so where are some of the delusion, falsities that are occurring in that subconscious narrative that have, you've got, there's so much of this foundational work, all right? So we've got Saturn ruling the Capricorn stellium and part of the Aquarius, if you can look at it that way. Pisces, our spirituality, our subconscious conditioning, and then Taurus, all right? So our senses, our comfort, security, and values, and how we feel safe. So we are really looking at our, those foundations we've built our life upon. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's so true. We have got these beliefs that we are working hard on to change so that we can have a different future for ourselves. Going back to that, what are you going to offer Pluto so that this transformation can be easy? It doesn't have to be, like I said earlier, it's, we can offer him something that we once loved because it holds us back now. We can offer it things that we do love because, we've got enough confidence to say that this is something of value to me. If I offer it to you and you can see how genuine I am, then the universe is going to be like, oh, okay, you were not that connected to it, that it's going to become a problem in the future. I don't know that came out the right way, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. If you, that analogy, if you truly love something, set it free. If it's yours, it comes back. If it wasn't, then it wasn't meant to be. And I just feel like, as we're moving towards this, like the February, like the end of January, February, these whole 3 months, it's just a lot. And so if you're feeling a lot, then it's exactly how you should be feeling. But I hope that you are supporting yourself enough and able to talk yourself around enough that it is going to be truly beneficial for you. So, all right, another big one that we have today. Oh my God, there's like 5 huge things today that I didn't even add. All right, so first there was the sun. Sun sextile Neptune, 9 o'clock. Sun moving into Aquarius, 12:45. That Saturn sextile Neptune is exact today at 1. All right, so here's more of that Saturn in Pisces going, we're rebuilding our subconscious foundation, we're dissolving old boundaries, where, that sextile to Uranus is allowing us to internally identify our triggers and then reinforce all of those beliefs because we can see where they came from. So again, I wish I could show you the talent triangle. It is just literally 1, 2, 3. That's it. That all of the planets are in the same conversation. Use that analogy in the room. There are 3 groups of people and they are all conversing with each other about the same thing. All right, it's not scattered energy around the room. No, there is a very specific conversation going on and you are at the center of it. Where it plays out in your chart, obviously, if you know your chart and you know where Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Taurus are, then bonus, because the biggest change is going to be in that Capricorn, Aquarius area. So, look, fabulous, amazing, transformative, all the things. Good morning, Barbara. How are you? Yes, Karen, it is void of course moon now until 4 o'clock, and that's when it starts to make its applying connections to Jupiter, and then after 9 to Chiron. So lots and lots of things. In my little notes at the top here, I've got that you need to be focusing on skills-based confidence, all right? Organizing under pressure. This is about conscious effort, finding your purpose, and opportunities if taken, all right? So there is a lot going on. I think around that midday mark with the Saturn, Uranus, and the Sun transforming, that is going to be a very definite shift. And then at 3 o'clock, all right, 3:04 p.m., that is Tassie time. I'd love you to just, again, think of what you can offer Pluto. He gets a bad rap, but he's the Lord of the riches and has so much to offer. When you can stand in his presence and just acknowledge the things that you're scared of, acknowledge your fear, but also know that he will give you jewels and diamonds and pearls of wisdom when you do start to explore those tricky underworld topics. So that's me, guys. I don't have my cards today, but I do have to go and continue making my sticky date pudding and check on my orange and almond cake. So you guys are absolutely fabulous. Tomorrow I will be at home. All right, so have a nice day. I'm taking Mickey to the airport today. He's going to Sydney for a couple of days. So good luck, Mickey, you can do it, even though I'm going to see you in like an hour and a half. All right, you guys are awesome. Take care.